Before I'll do the supplemental discussion for the crafting of the exploration of the validated instrument as your task number 2, I'd like to remind everyone also to please view the other uploaded files, no? Particularly Module 1 on familiarization with the parts of the thesis using CTU format. Again, I will no longer be discussing this as part of our discussion this morning. And then another thing is uh, a recorded discussion also on critical reading of CMO 15 series of 2019 with uh, with an additional discussion of the recent CMO 21 series of 2025, no, as an amended version of the previous uh, PSG for the graduate school programs. Okay, and then also for this particular lesson, you have to do task number 1. Okay, uh, if we peruse your, if we peruse our module, we can find particularly, I think, on page, sa to siya nga page? Okay, on page 5, no? Your assessment number 1. Okay? And then students might be asking, no, as early as now, especially if you have not read the module, sir, when can we submit the assessment, or where are we going to submit the assessment? The answer to that question is found in the module. In my discussion, no, in my recorded discussion, I always emphasize the importance of reading as our primary modality of knowing information. We have to understand that information must be known, no? Because that's the essence of information. We need to know them, because if we cannot know them, then it's a useless information. Now, the question there is how to know this information. We have this tendency of just uh, maintaining our ability to know information by hearing from other people or by asking other people to tell us, no? And for me, that's okay na siya, no? It's a layman's way of knowing information. However, in our case, we are in the graduate school programs when we need to analyze, criticize information, not just consumers of them. And if we will remain our ability to know information just by hearing from other people, then your ability to criticize will really be affected. Dili tama into what the graduate programs is expected us to accumulate, no, or to uh, learn. Okay, so again, my focus is you have to read starting now, no, you have to make sure that you read information, you know information, you receive information specifically by reading them yourselves, no. Again, it's found in the module on how to submit the assessments. Okay, I will now focus on my supplemental discussion in terms of crafting your assessment number 2. Okay, in the video I provided the procedure, this one, no? In the exploration of the validated instruments. You just have to follow these steps in order for you to do this first task related to a quantitative focus research. Okay? Again, in the previous video, I emphasize that I will be somewhat biased on a quantitative aided research, no, for your thesis writing in the future. The reason behind is that it's very obvious. It's the most timely, and kung ang ato ang gusto is mahumanta as early as 4 months in your thesis writing, then the quantitative is the best option for us. And it does not mean nga you are doing it in 4 months, you are doing a less quality research. No, it is not that. Why? Because for a quantitative research, your ability to formulate it actually did not start during your thesis writing. It started now. So as early as now, you can already prepare for your thesis writing. That is why in crafting these tasks, no, for your research method, it is very important that you do not just do it as merely as an academic requirement, purely for the subject itself, no? Have it as your preparation. That is why I am not expecting you to submit as early as we end this trimester, no? Know your timelines, know your respective timelines. No, there are students who really need to have their grades as early as May. So that is your timeline. Therefore, you need to submit your output on May because you need to have a grade on May. If you think that dili pa man ko kinahanglan ana, so I have to make sure that I have explored thoroughly instruments that are related to my specialization, please do so. So that later on, when you enroll for thesis writing, you already have something for you to work on with your advisor. Is that understandable? Meaning to say, quantitative research during thesis writing becomes only 4 months. No? You can do it only for 4 months because the process had been started. You started the process as early as now. Now, that's the beauty of the quantitative research. You set everything first before you deliver, before you do the survey, and eventually do the interpretation of your findings. Okay? Unlike sa qualitative that the focus is on the vastness, on the quality of the interview that could be generated during the actual thesis writing. And that is time consuming. Just to share you a story, no? I have a friend now, a psychologist, and we had a conversation, and he shared to me that during his thesis writing, he was also instructed by his mentor that to look for a topic that can help him finish his master's on time, no? Because he was also an idealistic person, no? He wants his thesis to be something that is very unique. Maka-discover jud something that has not yet been discovered, no? Very novel, no? But he was told by his advisor, no, you can do it when you are already in your when you practice your field, no? If you become a psychologist, find that topic. But my advice to you is do simple topics for now. Simple, not in the sense that it's very elementary, walay lami nga topic, no? That is not about that, no? Being simple means you know your timeline. Again, the beauty of a quantitative research is that you just have to find a very relevant instrument related to your field, find two or more of them, and explore whether these instruments, therefore these phenomena represented or assessed in these instruments, posits novel ideas in terms of its relationship to another phenomena. So that is why in this task number 2, I am asking you to look for at least 2, no? Instead of having it 5, since at the end, you can still generate a novel topic, no, by knowing the relationship of one variable and another variable, no, provided that in terms of your literature review, there was no study yet conducted that looks at the relationship between the two variables. If ever there is already an existing literature, try to find the population, meaning to say the people being surveyed. Maybe that recent study surveyed or conducted the research on a context that is not in a context that is different from your own. For example, it was conducted in a European setting. No? So that could also possess novelty. So you would say in your rationale that studies conducted in terms of the relationship between these two variables is European in context. So your study will look at the relationship of this phenomena in the Philippine context, and that would still possess novelty. By the way, what is novelty? I have already discussed this in the previous recording. Novelty means what is new. Therefore, something that is not yet written in the literature. Okay? So, going back to that concept of being simple, even if you are doing a simple topic, yet it can still possess novelty. Although not that novel as discovering another phenomena, because that's for the doctor's uh, task to find it. Muna siya ang buhaton sa doctorate degree program. They are to generate knowledge. However, on our part for masters, we are here to validate knowledge. Why do we need to validate knowledge? We validate knowledge so that we will know if that existing knowledge is still applicable for now or there is a need for us to refine it. So if you will be able to see, no, if you can find out later on that there is a need to refine that, then that would be your doctorate endeavor so that you can refine the variable and generate new understanding of that variable. No? Take for example, in terms of self-efficacy of Bandura. From the start of Bandura's attempt to discover self-efficacy, there has been a lot of refinement in terms of self-efficacy. And one of which is this paper of Dulias, a development of academic self-efficacy. So it's no longer just self-efficacy, it's about academic self-efficacy. So this is an example of an article which you will be finding out. Okay? Now, another thing that I would like to reiterate, although I have already mentioned this in the earlier recording, you are not looking for a research that utilize instruments. Okay, take note on that. Hindi ka naghahanap ng isang research article na gumagamit ng instrument. What you are looking for is an article that develops an instrument. Take note of that. And only a critical reading from our end can decipher the difference between the two types of research articles. Okay? That is why I would just like to reiterate once again, it is very important that we read information. We have to go back on that basic skill that we have learned as early as in our elementary years. No? Let's now continue in the exploration of the validated instrument so that we can have a better appreciation of that. So first step is we access databases. Okay? And for our exercise, we will be using the Google Scholar. Okay, type in your Google Chrome. So type Google Scholar and look for articles in Google Scholar, not in any other websites or an opinion pages. No, you have to find it in scholarly databases such as Google Scholar. You still have another options, but Google Scholar will do right now. Okay. Then the next step is going back to that procedure, the next step is do a refined keyword typing. Keywords, no? So what you are going to write here in the Google Scholar would be the keywords. And what would be your keywords? Since we are looking for a research that develops a questionnaire, we need to have these keywords: development and validation study. So no need for you to write in a complete grammatically correct sentence, no, in the Google search, Google Scholar search. Just write the keywords: development and validation study. After that, follow it with keywords that are related to your specialty. In my case, again, I am a guidance counselor. Academic self-efficacy is one vital idea that I need to study as a guidance counselor because it's a factor that will affect later on the performance of a person in terms of developing his or her ability to become a productive member of the society, because that is my interest as a guidance counselor, to develop a person holistically. So in your respective ends, what are the different variables that are related to your specialty? Again, I cannot answer that in your end because you will be finding out. You will be the one to discover that for you. And again, your major courses can help you look for that variable. Okay? So in this case, academic self-efficacy. And again, I am looking for an instrument. So the other term for instrument is scale. I can still use here the word instrument. Again, the word instrument, scale, they are the same. And also, since I would want it to be more specific in the Filipino setting, so I have to put here the locality. The locality. Now, this is also very important because later on, as you search for an instrument, no, that validated a certain variable, you'll be able to find out kung meron na bang naisulat na instrument for that particular variable intended for a Filipino setting. Once again, why Filipino? Because most of our studies, not most, no, our study will really be conducted among Filipino individuals. Because if there is none, then wala talagang lalabas yan sa Google Scholar. And what will it say to us if that will happen? Na? It means wala pang nagawan ng instrument that is intended for a Filipino setting. And again, what is the effect of that? That would give you an idea na that might be your future endeavor. No? Meaning to say, pwede kang gumawa ng isang survey questionnaire that is intended for a Filipino setting. And this is the case of Dulias. Let me search this for a while. No, I will have to click this one. Okay? So here, I have the first thing that comes out in my screen. Okay? This is the first thing that comes out in my screen. So therefore, I have with me a research article that developed a scale intended for academic self-efficacy among Filipino junior high school students. Okay? And that's the the unique thing of this particular paper. That is why if you look at some of these informations here, no? For example, here you can find the individuals who cited this paper. So it already received 80 citations. Okay? Another thing that you need to understand in Google Scholar is if meron kang makitang word dito na PDF or something that is attached to this particular searchable information, then that means to say available ang PDF copy of that particular research paper. Okay? So that kung you will be clicking this one, you will be transported to the site, no? Ang mismong PDF copy. Why this is very important? Because in the second step, where's that second step? Okay, here. You have to download. Actually, we are already in the fifth step na din, no? Download and save it. You are not just here to find kung meron bang nakasulat. You have to read that one. No? You have to read that one. That's why it's very important that you download it. Okay? For example, I have to click this one. Click. After clicking, then merong lalabas dito na download, no? And then if I will click that once again, ito yung research article file, no? Again, meron ding website format. So, meaning to say yung dalawang ito, this is a website version, this projects or provide similar information to this PDF copy here. Okay? Now, let's continue for a while on that search para mas maintindihan natin ang nuances in terms of how Google Scholar works. Okay. Here in this side, no, you can find here a custom range, no. Again, a more recent validated instrument is best. Much recent, meaning to say kung ilagay natin ditong 2025, ngayon ay 2026 man. So, mas better yung much updated. Why much better, sir? Because remember, you are trying to find a gap. You are trying to find something that is not yet written in the literature. Ano kaya ang hindi pa inaisulat sa literature? More likely, yung mga outcomes of the recently written articles such as a validated instrument. So kung merong nag-publish ng validated instrument in the year 2025, meaning to say, there is a possibility na wala pang gumagamit noon. There is a greater chance na meron pa, wala pang gumamit ng validated instrument, no, na nahanap mo. Okay? So take for example, we try to custom range it in 2025 search. Again, custom range, by using custom range, since you provide information such as 2018 to 2025, so Google Scholar provided us only articles from 2018 up to 2025. We will be looking at the title, Development and Initial Validation, still, no, of a mathematics self-efficacy scale. This was written in 2020. Math majors here, you can use this, no? If you want to study on mathematics self-efficacy. However, it is intended only for elementary learners. Okay, another thing here, a development and a validation of a new instrument, no? Of what? Of an academic self-efficacy related to nursing students. No? If you notice the eye, meron ng this particular avenue of writing research, meron ding tinatawag na development or validation of a scale. Hindi lang puro research that utilize an instrument. Meron ding mga researches na gumagawa ng instrument. Now, if you are thinking, no, considering an option of making or utilizing a researcher made, meaning to say ikaw mismo ang gumawa ng research instrument mo, then while doing this activity, you will be able to find na meron palang procedure, meron palang systematic procedure na dapat kang that you need to follow, okay? Because if you will not be following that, the reliability, the validity of your instrument, na the readers will be assured that the tool that you are using is indeed assessing what it supposed to measure, then meron kang maipapakita na data. Okay, that is why for researchers that tried to use their own research instruments, before they use it and publish an article that utilize an instrument, they will have to publish first the procedure on how they validated it. And this is a case of that. Okay? So, meron talagang lalabas dyan. Why? Because your keywords are very systematic. You are using refined keywording. Okay? So, let's proceed, no? So, you try to filter. That is what we are doing right now. We are trying to filter the result using custom citation, no? Custom range. Now, let's proceed. We go back to this particular informations, no? Na meron PDF dito, ito meron, ito wala. So what does it mean, sir? Meaning to say, the PDF copy of this particular paper is not accessible. Is not accessible. So we cannot read the content of this paper, sir. Okay, let's try to find out, no? Kung paano natin ito mabubuksan. Okay. We move first to another link para hindi mawala itong uh, page na ito. Okay, so again, we are trying to access this one, academic self-efficacy, because this is also a development and a validation study for nursing students. So this is for masters in nursing, no? So pwede kang gagamit nito if you are pursuing a master's in nursing, no, education. So here is the website. It is published in Wiley, and here are the information, no, such as it's published in volume 76, issue number 1. So still, you can find the salient information such as the abstract. Because if you want to read this paper, let's try to access, okay? PDF. What will happen next is that you will be asked to buy it. This is $62. $62. Let's convert it to peso, to USD to peso. It's 3,579. Mahal kay ma'am, no? So what I am just trying
Mahal yun.
to present to you na sometimes if we will be accessing mga articles, no, that has no free PDF copy, you have to pay for them. Yeah, pila naman ni ma'am? It's 3,500, no? Pila na ni ka? Usa na ni ka sakong bugas, no? No,
Bitaw
for
daw.
wa pa jud kasiguraduan, we are not yet assured na magagamit natin ang
Article.
research article na to, no? However, we will try to access this one, no? On what way, sir? No, can we access this one? I'm not sure ha that we can access this one. We'll try lang, no? We will visit this particular site, Sci-Hub. Okay? Take note of that. Don't worry, no? This will be recorded, and I will be sharing this also as part of our supplemental recording for task number 2 creation. Okay? Enter. Sci-Hub. Okay, this one. Okay? Again, let me go back to that one, no? So, merong different versions of Sci-Hub. So, if you will click this one, you will be directed to this particular website. For the information of all, this is actually it's a hacker website for research articles, no? So, we'll try to access this particular article, no? Which we need to pay about 3,500 pesos. So, how to access that one? We will get this DOI. DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier. Okay, take note of that because this is also very important. Every time we will cite, you start with the name of the author, the year the research article is published, the title of the article, the publisher, the volume, and the page number. And then do not forget the DOI. Why DOI is important? Because this is once again an ID. This is the identifier, URL identifier of that particular article. So later on, if you will be publishing your own research paper, your research article will earn or will have its own DOI. And sometimes the reason why there is a publication fee, because it has to be applied, no? You have to apply for this one, and application of this incurred payments. Okay? So we will get this one. We will get this, we will extract this information, then copy link address, okay? And then we paste it here. And then we try to open. Hopefully, it can be opened. Tanawa, ma'am, na open.
Yes, yes, Doc, na-open.
So meaning to say, instead of buying it for 3,500,
With 3K plus.
no, nakuha siya ni Sci-Hub. And take note again, Sci-Hub is a hacker, no? Ito ay isang illegal website. So I want you not to read the information in the website. Instead, you save it, no? No, meron ditong isang button, no? This is an icon for download. Then have it
Download.
downloaded, save, then you read it separately in your offline, no? And then you have to close the Sci-Hub. You have to close the Sci-Hub once you are able to access the article, because there is a case later on na this is my experience, no? If you will leave the Sci-Hub website open for about 15 minutes, no? When you will be opening it once again, hindi ka na makaka-access, no? You will be blocked by Sci-Hub because maybe Sci-Hub is thinking that you are an investigator, no? Trying to access its or trying to find its location. Because sometimes si Sci-Hub use different URL, no? Again, it's a hacker, no? But tayong walang kapira-pira, so we will try to patronize Sci-Hub. Okay, so that is just an exercise for you to know na we can actually open an article using Sci-Hub. Okay, so that's it. Now that you know how Google Scholar work, then we proceed to understanding the anatomy of the research article. Again, this is the article that we will be accessing. Why? Because this was my example for you to do, no? So what you need to extract are the following: purpose of the instrument, participants of the study, dimensions of phenomena, the Likert scale used in its final stage, and how the method used for final validation and the result of the validation. Okay? Why do we need to extract this information? Because this information very salient, no? Very important, because later on you will use this information in writing your instrument description. You will be describing the instrument that you will be using for your research. Gagamit ka ng instrument, therefore you are obliged to describe them. And you are not describing them the way you would like it to be. No? Hindi yan ang punto. Rather, you describe them according to how they worked. Para makita sa reader na, okay, so this is the purpose of that particular instrument. And that's the reason why you are interested in utilizing them. Okay? Let's now look at this particular article of Dullias. Okay? So, the first thing that you are going to extract would be its EPA citation, how to get this one, no? Where to get this one, this information. First, sometimes meron sila ditong site, na? To cite. So, meron ka nang pwedeng makopya kaagad. Dullias AR 2018. No? Sometimes merong mga ganitong way ang website of that research article for you to copy properly, no? The citation, no? The reference citation. So once you get this one, then have it put in your first column. Okay? Now, if ever walang ganitong mga icons, no, where can you get this one? You can actually find that in the article itself. Take for example, dito no, sa article na to. The development of academic self-efficacy, this is the title. Dulias AR is the author. Meron ditong nakalagay na volume 3, no? Then article 19. So it's published in volume 3 of 2018 as its 19th article. And then meron ditong DOI again. So you can really find this information inside the research article just to demonstrate it for you. Okay? Now you have an information related to the article detail. Now let's proceed to the purpose of the instrument. Now, where to find this purpose of the instrument? Usually, this is introduced in the introduction section, especially in the last paragraph before moving to the methodology. No? And you will have phrases such as, the purpose of this study was to develop, no? Or sometimes it has another way of constructing it or paraphrasing it like, this study aimed to construct blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's try to find that one. And some cases, it's found actually in the abstract. By the way, let's try to understand the anatomy of a research article. No? So this is the abstract part. Then we have keywords. After keywords, we have introduction. Ito yung introduction. No? Then sometimes introduction will end with literature review. In this case, it looks at the sources of self-efficacy, development of self-efficacy scale, meaning to say, the article of the development of the scale has to provide na merong history ang pag-develop ng self-efficacy scale hanggang napunta sa academic self-efficacy. And then also the constructs of the scale, meron dito. No? And then after that, the purpose of the study. No? It usually ends once again with the purpose of the study. So here, I have written the purpose of the instrument is to measure students' belief in their capability to produce specific effect and to learn or perform behaviors at designated level. Meaning to say, I extracted that from here, no, in terms of how self-efficacy is being understood generally. Okay? People's belief in their capacity to produce certain effects and to learn or perform behaviors at designated levels. So still, it is anchored on Bandura's concept of self-efficacy. However, the unique version of this scale is the dimensions. No? I'll just go straight to the dimensions. In this case, since it's an academic self-efficacy, it's trying to produce a result related to academic endeavor, so it provides a construct of this self-efficacy. This is also very important because there are different versions of self-efficacy. So in this particular study, it utilized the concepts of perceived control competence, persistent self-regulated learning. Again, where do I get this information? From the article itself, no? It provides here information. Let's try to find it here, no? It's found here. Factors structured verify 4 iterations, no? I mean to say there are 4 constructs. The other word for construct or dimension is iterations. Okay, perceived control, competence, persistence, and self-regulated learning domains, no? Again, it is being reported here, no? That when we say self-efficacy, it talks about self-regulation, control, no, persistence, and so on and so forth. Okay, hopefully you were able to follow the discussion for now. Now, we go back to the participants of the study. I reported here 3,909 high school students. No? Where did I extract this information? No? We go to the method section here. In the materials and method section, you can find participants. No? If you will read this section, you will be able to find that the preliminary form was administered to 3,909 participants. Okay? Then, to validate the final version, it takes now 450 junior high school students. This is the final form, no? 450 junior high school students. But the initial stage, there are 3,909 participants. Now, why I am trying to emphasize this one, no? What's my point? I mean to say, in constructing an instrument, you need to have this number. No? You see, sometimes we just end up having uh, less than 100. No? But you have to understand how applicable, no? What is the extent of its applicability? Hanggang saan aabot ang 20 pesos mo, no? According to the Magnolia advertisement. Meaning to say, you have to make sure that in trying to validate and develop the scale, it has to be initially administered into a greater number of population. No? Although at its final stage, it utilized 450. So later on, no, if you will be asking me, sir, what's the exact number of uh, respondents? Since I'll be using this instrument for my own study, you can find the answer on that instrument that you will be utilizing. Kung ilan participants ang ginamit niya for its final version, and more likely do with that number. Why again? Because this is a quantitative study. The strength of quantitative study is on the number. The higher the number, the higher its reliability. Although we still have to adhere on sampling techniques, no? Sampling techniques. And you can justify it by underscoring the properties, no, or the description of the sampling technique that you will do. For example, the Slovene formula of getting a sample population, meaning to say instead of surveying 5,000 students, all of them, then you can just get a sample number out of that complete number or the total number of population. Okay? So again, this is very important because here you can describe that the instrument was indeed validated with that number of participants, no, in its initial form. Okay? Also, I highlighted grade 7 to grade 10 because it's a junior high school. So, I will be using this for junior high school. Hindi pwede itong gagamitin ko in another level because it is intended to this particular population. So that is also very important, no? When you try to look for an instrument, you have to understand kung sino ang respondents because later on, that must be the same character of respondents that you will be administering later, no? Okay, now let's proceed Likert scale because this is an instrument that try to capture the level of academic self-efficacy. So it's Likert scale because Likert scale captures leveling of perceptions. No, you try to level, you try to find the frequency. No, so this use Likert scale. No? Like for example, when you ask somebody to rate their emotion, whether it's always performed or it's never encountered, that is Likert scale. So in this case, it use 4-point Likert scale. Okay, where can we find the Likert scale? You have to make sure also that the final version of the instrument is in the article. No? Take for example, in this case, ito yung final version of the article of the questionnaire. Remember, gagamit ka ng questionnaire. Hindi lang ang information on the questionnaire that is your intention. Gagamitin mo ang questionnaire na ito as part of your own survey questionnaire later, no? So here, it's 4-point Likert scale. So strongly agree, agree, disagree, strongly disagree. And here are its domain, perceived control, merong 12 items, competence, merong ilang items ito, then persistence, and self-regulated. Okay? Again, this is very important because you will be utilizing them. Now, sometimes, kung kinakailangan talagang gamitin ang instrument and ang instrument ay hindi makita sa article, ano ang iyong gagawin? You can communicate to the author. I'll show you an example, no? I'll show you an example. During my one of the topics that I tried to research, no? I encountered a scale that tries to level or assess the discernment practice because during this time I was interested at studying the seminarian's discernment ability. So, discernment practice. Okay? So, in this particular email correspondence, no, I emailed a certain Bruce Winston, no, because I found in an article written by Bruce Winston a scale that they developed. However, the scale was not found in the article. So I communicated the author. Sir, how can you communicate the author? Meron bang information na nakalagay sa article? Tingnan natin kang Dulias. No? In this particular article, the researcher's information is also embedded in the article. For example, kang dulias.angelo@yahoo.com. So in this case, kang Bruce Winston, meron ding nakalagay sa article, no? I communicate to him and he replied that he was the advisor of a certain Dr. Hazel Troffer. So we do a conversation, no, with Dr. Winston, and then until such time that Dr. Hazel also participated the communication. So we do the communication, and she did not just provided me sa instrument, she also provided me with her dissertation, meaning to say, on how she created together with Dr. Winston the instrument. Meaning to say, more than asking for the instrument, binigyan pa ako ni Dr. Hazel ng mismong dissertation or research niya kung paano niya ginawa ang instrument. So that I have therefore a very enriched information for me to be able to be given that confidence that indeed the one that I will be using is very reliable instrument. Okay? So again, why I am sharing this to you? Because sometimes the research instrument is not found in the article. No? In this case, Kang Dulias, he already included it in its research article. But sometimes hindi yan isasali, no? I-include ng authors. So what you need to do is to communicate to them. Will they respond, sir? The answer to that is, it really depends on the author. But if the author is indeed a researcher, kung totoong researcher siya, and the point of doing research is to disseminate information. No? So kung hindi siya papayag na gagamitin, so what's the point of writing the article? No? Because the reason why you write is to disseminate the information. So there is a greater chance na ipapagamit yan nila. Okay? Now let's continue. So again, Likert scale is 4.4 point. No need for me to divulge the information because makita ito sa final version. Makita yan sa final version. Now to the final validation result. It can actually be found in the abstract. No? Here in the abstract, we provide results on the different series of reliability. No? It use this particular statistical treatment and it has 0.87. That's a reliable result. Also intra-class, that's 0.95, also very reliable. And then also have upper lower limit 0.43, not that much, but on Cronbach alpha it's 0.95. Why do I use Cronbach alpha here? Because sometimes upon my reading, the most usually known way of validating a questionnaire is using Cronbach alpha. Okay, so I just intend to use a much popular way of validating an instrument that is Cronbach alpha. But again, do not just limit on Cronbach alpha. You can still use here some information provided in generating its reliability result. Okay? And by that, you are done with your first article. Then you proceed to the next article. Okay, I will no longer be demonstrating the second article because it just exactly follows the same pattern. Now, for your submission for assessment 2, use this template. Okay? Exactly the same yung nasa itaas. Again, I will be expecting you to do at least 2, dalawa. Okay? And then later on, this article, this instrument that you will be utilizing, you have explored, will be utilized. As I've mentioned in the recorded presentation, later on in crafting your statement of a problem, no, you will be using those variables as well as in writing the instrument description. I'll be having a separate recording on how to craft your SOP and your instrument description. And again, this is very important, no, that you have to do it yourself. Meron kang ma-experience na different nuances, no, mga struggles, challenges. So that would be our point of clarification for our next session. Now, before I will end this presentation, I would just have to remind you that, again, my presentation is biased on quantitative methodology, particularly on descriptive and correlation method. Why is that? Because that is the easiest way to finish your master's program. However, if you still find it na effective ang ibang strategy such as, sir, gagamit ako ng qualitative talaga because that's what my heart wants, or gagamit ako ng mga experimental designs, then you can do it. My intention is that I am sharing the best way. The best way if you have this intention of finishing your masters na madalian, ngunit hindi na compromise ang quality of your research ability. So this assessment number 2 is very vital in creating your assessment number 3 and assessment number 4. No? It serves as the building block for you to be able your next task for this course requirement. Sige, that would be all for now. Thank you everyone for attending this session and hopefully you learned something from my discussion.